Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness the greatest man of all time. Please, try to remain calm. Please, try to remain calm.
Oh, for fuck's sake, you bastards, you fucking ruined it. Without further ado, I'll give you Erol. You fucking bastards. One fucking job a month, and they fuck off. Where's that fucking cat?
Drugs. Drugs.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Can you see me? Look, I'm raising my hand in the air. You couldn't do that without drugs. Without drugs, you are nothing. Yeah, you cannot lift your hand in the air unless you employ drugs. Yeah, your local supermarket sells you drugs. There's aisles and aisles of drugs. Your local doctor's a drug pusher. Your hospital stacked to the fucking ceiling with drugs. And a couple of Polish car park attendants at the front door playing cards. You know, protecting all the old dears. And yeah, your local pharmacy's a drug den. Your local pubs are all drug pushers. Alcohol's a drug. Your corner shop selling tobacco and coffee, that's drugs. The big man's teaching me that just about everything's a drug. Even a fucking orange has drugs in it. Yeah. No, it's no. Most meals will give you some drugs from what it is. Yeah. I had a coffee earlier on. It's drugs. You mentioned that already. So, tonight, surprising this experiment hasn't been carried out more often. Tonight, I'm going to take drugs. Yeah, drugs other than what the brain, the biggest drug pusher of all. You say drug pusher? Aye. Makes me fucking retarded, doesn't it? The brain, the biggest drug pusher of all. I'm going to add extra external stimuli. So what should happen is my serotonin should shoot off the fucking chart. You know? El gonko. Do that again, it wasn't as good. I want you to look like one of the gonks we hang off a rear view mirror. I like to wank over that later when my wife's back. Well, as long as you're not going out killing kids. El gonko! No, still not good enough. Fuck you, you wanker. Tell your wife. See what she does to you. A guy said to me the other day, know what we should do with rapists, murderers and paedophiles and beasts of all kinds? Lock them in a room with a bunch of hairy-arsed women with steak knives. So that would be a mistake. I didn't laugh. I'm not surprised. And so, what should happen is this though. Just cut their balls off. 6 months later you can set them free. You've dropped your reoffending rate from 75% to less than 2%. That's far too logical and too much like a solution. Let's just let 3 out of every 4 commit sins against our children again. Anyway, so I'm going to take serotonin level off the fucking chart. I'm going to have some really proper, decent gear. Right? I normally would smoke a double skinner. I'm going to smoke a single skinner of this so I can get to the fucking end. And what it's going to be is mainly sativa with some indica thrown in for good measure. Huh? You sound like fucking places in Pakiland. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, chat away to you. you know, edify you. As after all, I'm the greatest mind of all time. And you should be taking fucking notes. Mental notes. And after I'm finished chatting away to you, I'm gonna fucking get stoned right in front of your eyes and demystify and debunk the myth of drugs. The reason that cannabis is still illegal in this country, even though they can make an enormous amount of tax out of it, in other words, theft, and they could take it out of the hands of criminals and so on and so forth. There's all the positives I could tell you about it. However, it gives them an excuse to kick your door in at 6 in the morning and drag you kicking and screaming out of your fucking bed in your underwear out into the snow. They're fucking fascist. I'll maybe no say it too much more to you the night, you big pig bastard. Get you in the back of the van with an Alsatian that's poorly tied up, growling at you. And you're thinking, that's about £30,000 if that minds me. Try to make your left leg look like a fucking roast. Anyway, and you hear them outside the van saying, "No, I'll go in the back of the van tonight, Jojo. I've got a new pair of boots I'd like to break in."
That hippies that I want to fucking do it with.
Size 29s. Can't buy his shoes at a canoe shop. Anyway, so I'm wise enough to grow my own gear. And I grow it in people's houses who I know quite well. Yeah, I've turned the back rooms into the fucking Amazon. But we should be able to grow it outside in all weathers, and it's really good for you. Saves you taking diamorphine, saves you taking antidepressants. What about the ones that go schizo, the psychos and the nutcases? They could go schizo and psycho after eating a tin of fucking baked beans. You know it's true. It's a fact. Would you like an extra cup of coffee, Fred? Oh, no problem. I'm gonna fuck him. You know, people that go mental with very, very little input. And the things that are legal, like tobacco, which we know shortens your lifespan, and alcohol, which we know is responsible for most crime in this country. The rest being down to mutants from a bygone era, and we should distance ourselves from and move on. You know, the slugs in the fields are a form of life. The birds in the trees would be one cut above. I didn't realise that slugs and snails could actually smell and climb up and down walls to get to cat food. Don't know why I put it up that wall. But anyway, the birds in the trees are a higher form of life allegedly, and then they became dinosaurs and that didn't work out too well for them, so they're now eating bread in council estates, reduced from Tyrannosaurus Rex by one rock, you know, to picking up bits of crust and throwing it in the air just before being flattened by an articulated lorry that shouldn't be going down that small road, you know.
I used to be a T-Rex.
This is a stain on a Michelin. What's the other make a tire? Think about Duracell. It's no Duracell. Big man's mental. Thinks Duracell make tyres. So, what I'm going to do is
Hopefully, debunk the whole myth that drugs are bad for you.
when if you go to the doctor and the doctor didn't let you have any drugs, you'd be screaming. See any hypocrisy there? Please, I'm in total excruciating mortal agony. Mortal agony. Mortal agony. Mortal agony. Yeah, I'm a nervous system that suffers the illusion of pain. Pain is just an illusion until you feel it. It feels awful fucking real, doesn't it? I feel great sympathy for people when I feel the illusion of pain. But it is just an illusion, because if you were to lose your hand, God forbid, it's amazing we don't lose bits of ourselves more often. Huns do. Every Hun I know has lost some part of their body or had it fucking reversed on them. You know, walking backwards and that. Now, to get round corners. Yeah, every hand has been consumed by hatred or stupidity, one of the two or both. And yeah, so if you lost your hand, you feel phantom sensations from it. So you have an itchy hand from a hand that isn't there anymore. An itch you simply can't scratch. Yeah. But then they discovered it had been remapped to the coupon. To the face. And so you could scratch your face and the sensation of the itchy hand went away. White man, you're not being funny. Move on. Alright. You be dick. Ridiculous dick. What I was going to say to you was that so I've proven that pain is an illusion. Also, those kids that are born without the chip that gives you the illusion of pain, thus allowing us to continue as a species, as obviously was handy at one juncture. But see now, it's just a fucking nagging reminder that we don't need anymore, do we? Do we really need that reminder all the time? Once would do, or not as frequently. Maybe we could reprogram the pain chip. They would all bleed to death in the night. Oh, it can wait till the morning. As females are the only creatures that can go to sleep whilst bleeding from the groin, with a smile on their face. Night night. Imagine a man bleeding from the groin. You won't get a fucking wink of sleep for the next 10 weeks. Yeah. Oh, I'm bleeding for the... Give me my drugs. Men die younger than women. They do. Men die younger than women. I don't think it's a coincidence that they don't go to the doctor that often. Women are never away from him or her, wanting their drugs. In certain old, confused, dodery old folks' homes in America, they give them a blue pill in the morning and a pink one at night. Amy Shitehouse is on the exact same deal. Piss poor role model, Amy Shitehouse. So she is. I mean, she gets a taxi. No, she gets a fucking ambulance from the Priory to the gig. Dances about going, like fucking Anne, the famous character from that shite show called Little Britain, for retards. You know who you are. And then a piss poor Elvis impersonator. Right? And then a wee baby. Right, you put those three things together, that's Amy Shitehouse. Then she just punches someone in the face. Thump. Then straight back into the back of a fucking ambulance and away back to the Priory. The multi-million-pound Priory. Where all these impressionable, stupid, wayward bitches in the audience, Western females, off the hook. Think, oh, she's marvellous. She doesn't give a fuck. I'm away to fucking blow my head off with crack cocaine as well now. I couldn't see green cheese, but I'd want it myself. Anyway, so, those stupid bitches get a crack addiction as well. But they're not multi-millionairesses that can call upon a Priory and a fleet of fucking ambulances. What they have is a big fat bald guy hammering up like fuck on the thin door of their stripped bare flat while they lay on a shit-stained mattress in a fetal position, cowering, hoping that door holds as he batters the door, shouting, "Give me my fucking money!" Only much louder. Spot the difference. Well, Amy's lying in bed with her third milkshake going, So, there's nothing glamorous about taking drugs, as I'm about to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt, no doubt. But, of course, your government, apart from being gun runners, are drug pushers. Yeah, everywhere they go, they're peddling their drugs. Yeah, they've probably got cures for cancer and AIDS, but they only want to 80% cure you, because that means they can make a profit off you until the day you die eventually. Oh, they'll be so reluctant, they'll be throwing drugs at you at that juncture. They're drug pushers, a lot of them.